On April 16 this year, the president delivered what has become the most quoted political attack of the season, calling the ADC National Convention the rascality of street convention, and vowing he would not submit to noise making. And his special advisor, Sunday Dare, also doubled down, calling ADC hurriedly stitched together contraption, and said Nigeria's latest bunch of conspiracy theorists. Do you agree? What is your reaction to these comments, both from the president and his special advisor?
Why are you bothered about something that is hurriedly stitched together? APC, opposition is hurriedly stitched, is a coming together of impostor, is a this, it is a failed movement, it is a this. Shall leave them now. Allow them to do their thing. You campaign on your own performance. For the president to come out and say that nobody will scare you, nobody, it shows that you are scared. For the president to come out and be making a statement about a convention, and they do not learn. They don't learn from lessons. The more you people have fought and have tried to destroy the opposition, the more popular you have made it to be. Do you know that ADC convention could have held in Abuja and nobody in Nigeria may even have known, or people who are not really part of it will not know? But because they wrote a letter to you, you say they can't use the Eagle Square, they can't use the Veiled Room. The place where they went to, when we went into that convention room, because we took time to go there, they even took off and switched off lights from the place. They had to bring alternative generator. It was hot like microwave. But Nigerians, people who were there, have not seen a thing like that. People were in a convention that they did not even give you water or refreshment. Nigerians were going out to buy water for themselves to give other people. You see Bayelsa people, they say we buy water, we give Enugu, we give maybe. Nigerians on their own are investing in a process that they believe that it is a rescue vehicle for them. Nigerians are owning opposition. Why will Tinubu not be scared? Can you be this kind of failure and not be scared when you see opposition coming together? What did you do for Nigerians? You remove subsidy that you cannot account for the money and where you kept it. If they ask you, say, I gave money to governors. I gave money to governors. So whatever that the opposition, the ruling party wants to say about the ADC, it is up to them. My emphasis is on opposition. Please do the right thing. Nigerians are waiting for you. It is not about these people. These ones are on their way out.
You have video on Femi Gbajabiamila on Leke Abejide, the ADC lawmaker, that was talking in a birthday party. As at the time, the day I saw it, had already grossed over 20,000 likes. As at that time, I know that by now it should have been more than that. Does it give credence to the fact that what Nigerians are saying, that the president and the present government is all out to destroy the opposition?
It is a confirmation of what is already in the open. It shows that Nigerians, first of all, do not feel a sense of belonging in this government. In fact, first, it shows, it is a lesson to Tinubu to know that you can snatch it, grab it, and run with it. But one thing you cannot snatch is the love of the people. You can steal, in that local parable they say, you can steal the village drum. It is where to play it. So you took power but lost the people. That is why today every movement of the president is choreographed, because you know that you are disconnected from reality. Nigerians know who their leaders were. Nigerians know who they voted for in 2023. So as it is, the reactions to those videos and to statements like that, even coming from people, who am I in Nigeria? I'm just a young person, a citizen who wants a better country. But when I hear the opinions that people believe that you are speaking what we cannot say, you are saying what bothers us, what they can do is to support you and say that we are with you. Please speak up, because we may not have the courage. People are afraid. Tomorrow they carry you, next tomorrow. This government goes after critics more than they go after terrorists. Terrorists can be repented. Critics do not. They will languish in prison. That is the fate of people like us who come out. But God knows that this country must work in our lifetime. So when you see Nigerians supporting such statements or supporting such actions, it's because they know that they want a president. I don't have a problem with anybody being president. I have a problem with the process with which you get into office. Whether Nigerians want to get a cripple, whoever, let it be the will of the people. The day Tinubu was announced as president, the entire nation was so gloomy, it was like a day of national mourning. The day Yakubu announced that Tinubu had given him the presidency. The next day that Nigerians will celebrate is the day they have announced that he's out of that office.
All right, let's put the table. Let's put numbers on the table. In the last 30 days, reports show that over 120 people have been killed in the northwest. 49 villagers massacred in Kebbi, Kwara, Benue, Plateau. The number is endless, and of course, Nigeria is now the fourth most terrorized. Or when you talk about deaths arising from terrorism,
Yes.
Nigeria is number fourth in the global index. Has this government abandoned its people or what?
Did the government even have the people? Shebi, you can abandon people who were with you. But by implication, since you snatched power, grab it and got with it, the implication is that you swore to a constitution and you are supposed to abide by it. That the protection of the life and properties of the people, security and welfare, will be your primary responsibility. What we have today in Nigeria is a sacrilege. The Tinubu handling of security in this country is a scandal. That is why today you will have terrorists in this country who will make phone calls, receive alert on their phones. Terrorists in the bush are treated with medical, professionals, but somehow the government does not know where they are. In Nigeria, when they kidnap 100 people, government go behind doors and pay ransom and will come and put up a statement and tell you that we discovered them as per lost but found. That is where Nigeria is. That even in Abuja, the FCT, they kidnap people in the country's capital. But guess what? In the words of Professor Wole Soyinka, the son of the president, Seyi Tinubu, was seen with a security entourage and convoy that Professor Wole Soyinka not knew, who by the way is a friend to the president, had to call people around the presidency and say, what is going on? What kind of security is this? Do you know what Wole Soyinka said? Prof said, when Tinubu sent Nigerian military to go and restore democratic order in Benin Republic, it was not necessary to send Nigerian military. That the security he saw with the president's son is enough to restore and carry out that assignment in Benin Republic. That is what we are talking about. Outright criminality and rascality in Nigeria. That's why Obi's statements will continue to ring a bell. If you are not stealing as a president or a leader, your wife is not stealing, your children are not stealing, you have reduced corruption by 50%. When you have an entire family parasiting on the commonwealth of the people, how do you move forward? Collecting contracts. You know how much Nigeria has spent on forex travel for the wife of the president? In 2023, within a space of 3 months, we spent over 700 million.
Shit.
Directly taken from the State House account. We are budgeting money for SUV for office of First Lady. The president's son is there, the daughter is Iyaloja, Iyalode, Babaloja. That is Nigeria. Tinubu's presidency is like going for a black market Friday shopping. Buy one, get 3 free. Father is giving you incompetence and failure in leadership. Son is running around sharing rice with city campaign. The wife is taking forex and traveling to Angola. The daughter is installing Baba Oloja in Benin. That is Nigeria under Tinubu. And people are dying. People are in custody. As we are talking now, kidnappers will flog you, put it on TikTok. DSS do not know where they are. But make I talk one thing about government now. They will trace me. We must dismantle this structure.
The last time Nigerians raised alarm was when reports came out that 774 Boko Haram terrorists were de-radicalized and then reintegrated into the society. And people are asking, as a matter of fact, some persons, Maxwell Opera has gone to court, dragging the government and the Attorney General of the Federation to court over the integration of so-called repentant Boko Haram terrorists. On your own, what do you think of this de-radicalizing and reintegrating repentant Boko Haram into the society?
Uncle Victor, the only repentant terrorist is a dead terrorist. Repentance and forgiveness of a terrorist comes from their creator or whoever they worship. The job of government and the military is to fix that meeting between them and their God. The earlier they fix it, the better for innocent citizens. But you know why insecurity in Nigeria today will continue to have the K and W leg that it has? is because until you solve and eradicate the political wing of terrorism, you will not solve the one in the bush. What energizes the one in the bush is the one inside government house. Yes. That is why that statement that tells you that once insecurity and terrorism lasts beyond 48 hours, there is a hand of government. The retired military general and former minister for defense, T.Y. Danjuma, stood on his platform in Taraba. He told you, he said the armed forces, they are not neutral, they collude. In 2018, under Buhari, police IRT went to Taraba to arrest a kidnapped kingpin. They were accosted by Nigerian military who opened fire on them, killing police and a civilian, and the kidnapper escaped. How will insecurity end? The more money you put into it, the more it increases. It is a multi-dimensional economic enterprise and investment. Who are the persons sponsoring terrorism? Who are the beneficiaries? Why is Nigerian government unwilling or reluctant to name the people who for some foreign government has given them as names of persons sponsoring and financing terrorism? Until we take it out. Today in Nigeria, according to even the revelation of somebody who was a kidnapped victim in Kwara, he said the Kwara state government paid about 350 million for the CAC, Eruku people. In one attack, kidnappers can get up to 350 million. Uncle Victor, the total feeding of a Nigerian soldier is about 3,000 naira per day. About 1,000 for breakfast, 1,000 lunch, 1,000 for dinner. For a soldier who is fighting terrorists. And the terrorists on one attack can get up to 350 million. If they divide it, maybe, let us say you even go home with 5 million or even 3 million. That is, the terrorist is more motivated than the soldier who is supposed to go and fight him. How it will end? We are deceiving ourselves. This thing is a contraption. Until you unbundle it, you cannot solve it. How can terrorists be online? How can terrorists make call and nobody knows where they are? DSS, your only intelligence is for peaceful protesters. What a shame.
Let's look at the comment by Senate President Akpabio about when terrorism will end. He said that some persons are sponsoring terrorism because of the good work the president is doing. That's why we are seeing bomb blasts and we are seeing all this increase in terrorism because of the president's good work. And he said it will end after 2027 elections. What are your thoughts on this?
Uncle Victor, may no country in the world have the misfortune of having characters like Tinubu, Akpabio, and the APC leadership mismanage their country.
Why do you say so?
Nigeria is currently led by the worst of humanity. We have built a system where the worst of us mislead and misrule the rest instead of allowing the best to lead the rest. Look at the remarks you are reading from the number 3 citizen of the country, the head of parliament. The Senate president is not just Senate president, he's the chairman of the National Assembly because he is the head of the upper chambers. Akpabio can garrulously and flippantly tell you that insecurity will end in truth after election. Say God will protect you people till then. That is the person who is parading as Senate president. But then it now begs you, what exactly was the process to which he got there? Did Akpabio contest to be senator, or he contested APC primaries as a presidential candidate? How did he end up in the Senate? We give glory to God of the Nigerian judiciary. But that is the idea. Tinubu is not interested in strengthening institutions. The pattern is this: get a stooge to head the National Assembly. Whatever that I want and my wishes and aspirations is what you will be there to pursue. That is what Akpabio is a perfect fix for. So everybody there will be struggling to who will be the sycophant in chief, who can please the president more. So that is why the Akpabio can read the statement and say, Remi Tinubu asks us to come for dinner. It is an invitation like from a mother to her children. Do you know that Akpabio is Remi Tinubu's son? And then let's go to the EFCC. We will get a sycophant who will be there, pretend that he's fighting corruption, but no, the real idea is to fight my enemies and threaten people who I want to move to my party. We will get, an IG of police who will pretend to be a law enforcement officer, but is there to enforce laws of Tinubu. So across board, let us go to INEC. We'll get somebody who will pretend to be an INEC chairman to do electoral processes. No, he's actually an APC politician who is there to oversee a coronation of Tinubu. And across board. That is how institutions are destroyed, and then we give power to one man. Nigerians must read between the lines and see that characters like this serve nobody's interest but themselves. This nation is failing. Nigeria is in dire straits. If we do not end this, we have our lives to pay for it, because bad governance does not exist in a vacuum. We are the collateral. So shame on people like Akpabio.
You were quoted as saying that the most important person to be fired in the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's cabinet is President Ahmed Tinubu himself. Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself.
Yeah. The question should be, what has Tinubu not done for him to be fired? What is Tinubu doing in the presidential villa, Uncle Victor? It does not matter who Tinubu decides to fire or hire today. If you like, remove this one and take from the anta to the stigma, do cross-pollination. The most important person to be fired in Tinubu's government is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And since he cannot fire himself or resign, we, the 200 million Nigerians, must come and show him the way out. You have sounded too good for the horrible job you have done. In the name of God, go. What exactly is the basis for why Tinubu is in office? To protect Nigerian lives and properties. Mr. Victor, is your life safe today? Can you travel to your community without, to leave home in Nigeria today and go from point A to B is a miracle. Human beings were kidnapped along Benin or Express. Uncle Victor, I'm not telling you that it happened in my village or in one interior. Maybe it happened in Alifopa or in Ajashepo or in Sagbama or in Kotogora. Benin or Express, a full bus. Driver killed, passengers taken. A lot of drivers even stopped using the road from Abuja through Kogi. They started going through Nasarawa. The kidnappers also moved and joined them at that point. So why is Tinubu moving around? To share rice? So you are moving around. You know how to take care and pamper yourself. You came and saw a country in crisis. You first put yourself on a level where you want to enjoy. This is the tragedy of Tinubu. You want to enjoy the luxury and affluence of office, but do not want to take charge of the responsibility. So you come, you increase, your allowances. You buy a jumbo presidential jet, a presidential yacht. What are you doing with a jet? We bought a jet, wasted money to fly failure around the world. And then you now disconnect yourself from the national grid and build a giant solar farm for yourself and your family and the people who are in the villa. And that is what you want us to reward. So we are the subsidy for the rich in Nigeria. We are paying for Tinubu's own life. Tinubu is the only government, the person who has taxed Nigeria more, removed subsidy, claimed to have generated more revenue, but somehow has borrowed more than the past 4 presidents combined. Tinubu has put Nigeria debt to over almost 200 trillion. With what to show for it? Servicing money to service refineries. According to Obasanjo, I'm sure you saw his interview, Nigeria has spent almost 16 billion servicing refineries. That is 4 billion short of what Dangote used to build his entire refinery. Do you know that in Nigeria today, Bola Ahmed Tinubu stood in that APC garden where he was talking that he cannot be scared. Tinubu was trying to mock the former Vice President Atiku. He said they were in charge of privatization. They privatized Delta Steel Company. Is it working? They say no. They privatized Ajakuta Steel. Is it working? They say no. And now they are coming to say they want to do this. Do you know what exactly is going on? Tinubu said that they privatized Ajakuta Steel is not working. Uncle Victor, have you seen the budget defense of the Ministry of Solid Minerals? Do you know that under Tinubu's government with the Minister Dele Alake, in this 2026 budget, there is more than 6 billion budgeted for salaries of staff of Ajakuta Steel Company. In fact, it increased from 5 billion in 2025 to 6 billion in 2026. That is, Tinubu is budgeting money for salaries in a company he knows is not working. That is the president we have as commander-in-chief. And you ask me what did Tinubu do to fire himself? It is up to Nigerians to decide what level of criminality they were ready to entertain and endure as government.
The opposition parties have demanded that the INEC chairman resigns. And if he doesn't resign before 2027 elections, what do you think should be the plan B of the opposition party?
We will resign him.
How?
That is how it will work.
How will you resign him?
He will resign. If he does not resign, we'll have to resign him to ensure that he leaves. He has to leave. If he doesn't leave, he will ensure that the will of the people must prevail. It is up to Amupitan to choose. Do you want to stand with the path of constitutionality Do you want to start with the part of legality? Do you want to stand with the people, or you want to play and support the interest of criminal elements in power? If Amupitan does not resign, Nigeria should ensure that they resign him. He must resign. It is up to the people to put pressure and ensure that he must go. It is not this protest we do, say one day you do, one day you go. By the time they see 10,000 people living with Amupitan as the front of INEC gate, there will be no even road for him to pass into the office. He will just voluntarily leave the place. But whatever it is, I continue to insist. If Amupitan leaves, the person who will come will still come from Tinubu. Ensure as Nigerians that you are able to put pressure. Let us calculate the entire people who are supposed to rig election. Let us calculate the entire people holding Nigeria hostage. How many persons are in the National Assembly? How many persons are in the executive arm of government? Let's give the entire political class 20 or 30,000 human beings. As against how many? INEC voter register alone for 2022 had more than 87 million people who collected PVCs. So 87 million people cannot ensure an Amupitan resignation. Is that what is going to happen? 87 million people cannot ensure that their votes must count. How many votes took Tinubu to the villa, according to Mahmoud Yakubu? The people who voted against you are more than people who voted for you. If you add the votes of Atiku, Obi, and Kwankwaso, so you are an unpopular government. You cannot superimpose on Nigerians. Nigerians must liberate themselves through a peaceful, democratic, free, and fair process without any alterations.